Hi, I'm Michelle Jekyll from Abingdon Elementary School, and today I'm going to give you the next tech tip on best practice strategies for using the iPad to take photos and videos of your students for instruction and documentation. The first thing you need to think about is your setting. So for example, in this classroom, we have really great lighting on the students, and we have a light source of a window. You want to make sure that the window is on your back for the light source and that the light is shining on the subjects. So to start to take a photo or video, you need to open up the camera app. And you have choices. You can do a time-lapse photography, you can make a video, you can take a regular photo, you can take a square, which automatically turns it into a square, or you can use the panoramic feature. We're going to begin with a photo. To take a photo, you want to make sure that your iPad is in landscape mode, not portrait mode. In landscape mode, you'll be able to easily import your photos into all different programs and uses that you might be using with the photo when you're done with it. So now we're ready to take a photo of a class doing work. It's important to make sure that the light source is correct. If you tap on a subject, it will focus to them as well as correct any light inaccuracies that might be there. To take the photo, you can press the large white button, which will engage the shutter. You'll know it takes a picture because it makes the shutter sound and a picture appears of it as a preview down at the bottom. You can also take a picture by pressing the volume up button. You want to avoid taking photos of students with light at their backs. However, if it's the best picture that you can take, tap on the students in a dark area and the iPad will correct the light for you. Then you can take your great shot. So that was a little bit about photography, but video is something really great about the iPads. The difference is motion. So in order to take a video, you really want to make sure that you're using that human tripod stance. Change your option to video. Again, ensure that you're in landscape, not portrait mode. This will ensure that your subjects will be able to be seen in any movie that you create. When you identify what your subject is going to be, ensure that they are going to be in frame and are taking up a piece of the shot. Ensure that their head is not going to be cut off or that they're not going to be out of the frame. Then you're ready to begin. So before you take your video, you want to ensure that you are not blocking the microphone, which is on the opposite side of the speakers. It can be pretty confusing. You also want to make sure that your subject is in focus. To do this, tap on their image and the iPad will focus on that image. Make sure that your subject, if you're doing an interview, speaks in a loud, clear voice, and don't be afraid to ask them to do it again. So Sam, can you tell us what your class is doing today?
They're all working on poems about their feelings. Not their feelings.
That's fine. That's perfect, Sam. Thank you so much for helping me. You can go back to work. So now you want to preview your video to make sure you captured what you wanted. To do this, press the preview button and the video will appear from your camera roll. Press play and check that your sound is correct, your composition is correct, and that you're not doing Blair Witch in your movement. So those are some quick tips on how to make a close-up interview of a student. But if you want to get the whole class to get the perspective, you're going to want to do a pan. To do this, again, stand in your tripod form, start at one end of the class, press the record button, and then slowly rotate to capture the whole scene. You don't want to move too fast, otherwise it will be blurry. And that's how you get your full shot. Now let's try and put it all together for a documentation purpose. So we have a teacher working with a student. So we want to get as close to them as we can without obstructing the lesson. So let's go. So we want to get close to the subject without obstructing what they're doing. Make sure that you have everything in the shot. Make sure that you're not covering over the microphone. Hold your tripod stance, and then you can record.
It's like a volcano making lots of noise.
Good. Do you see how you put two things together that you wouldn't normally compare? But you're now showing the person reading your poem. Now they can picture your baby brother being really loud like a volcano, right? So capture that.
So now that I just finished videotaping a documentation of student and teacher interaction, I want to review my video to make sure that I captured what I aimed to capture. So on my playback, I can see that the two subjects are pretty far from my shot. So I might want to either stay back farther away from my subject or ask the student and the teacher to come together a little bit more. The volume is also a little bit quiet, so I might want to ask the subjects to speak a little bit louder next time during my video. Thanks for taking the time to enjoy this tech tip on best practice strategies for using photo and video on the iPads. Enjoy.